Hey there, I'm Phoebe from the Lift Perspective. I'm a white-skinned, short, brown-haired human with flecks of grey. Bit messy this morning. Green eyes, a yellow t-shirt with white font that says Paris, and sitting on a park bench in front of a gorgeous creek with gorgeous green trees and grasses and a bridge in the foreground and a walking path in the back with suburban homes behind. That would be the iconic Sully's Creek. Hey there, I'm here on the unceded lands on which I currently dwell with Principle 7 on the journey of 100 suns. Pause and find a moment of peace. Morning. Wandering around the house thinking I'll have a shower when I get back. Now I'm thinking, until I can find a set of clippers to do this crazy hair, I'm going to probably have a shower first. It's the joy of having a CPAP machine that just throws everything really out of whack. Hi. Pause and find a moment of peace. You will probably have noticed by now that these are not they are principles to live your life, but they are principles to sculpt your day to help you achieve the things that are most meaningful to you. Start with silence. Move your body and watch the sunrise. Hydrate. Fill your body with pure foods. Spend time with the ones you love. Productive work towards a singular goal. Pause. Find a moment of peace. This is kind of ideally around about lunchtime. And I really love this concept because, interestingly, when I looked at the flow of these principles initially, I went, wow, that's actually where I was going to go this year, which was to go, you know what, I'm best with people in the afternoon. I'm better with, my mind is most productive and clearest, and I can achieve the most in the morning. So I'd started to already in my mind go, well, I have rebus rehearsals in the afternoon. I can catch up with coffee with people in the afternoon. All of the things that I was looking at doing that were people focused and people centric were already going to be in the afternoon anyway. So pausing and finding a moment of peace in the middle of your day can be quite beautiful. It doesn't need to be micromanaged. It doesn't need to be, I've done 4 hours, I'm knocking off, I'm going for a walk. If there's a bigger project, you work longer and, go find your moment of peace a little bit later and maybe spend a little bit less time working collaboratively with people. If you get through something a bit earlier, go find it earlier. It's not about being legalistic. And I think pausing and finding a moment of peace for someone like me who lives with complex trauma, but I think for any of us that have been through those, everyone has been through a lot lately. There's a lot that the world demands of us, a lot, and sure, maybe it's not that different for you before the pandemic, but I honestly believe the speed of the world has increased, and that's why we're seeing such a rise in mental health statistics. This world has become relentless. We're playing catch up, and we're expecting more of people. And I think that's where these moments are really essential. We carry a lot of brain activity. We do a lot of work. We usually do a lot of good work. And that may not be, you may not be in a policy writing position. You may not be a doctor. You may not be someone that has one of those high demand roles. But sometimes that work is ourselves. Sometimes that work is a passion project. Sometimes that work is our children, if, that's our stage of life. We all have things that we do, and sometimes our work is trying to come out the other side of something really devastating or horrific or maybe it's depression, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's just a feeling of being numb and flattened. We're all trying to come out of something, and that's our work. That's our productive singular goal, however that looks to you. The beauty of finding a moment of peace is that we can create the stillness for ourselves to move through to something that engages a different part of us, a different set of energies, a part where we need to be present for others, which is what's coming next. And I think this fascinates me because it's where I was already going to go. I was already looking at this at this rhythm. But I think for me, the other thing I found is that peace can look different for different people. Meditation is something that is much more a part of my life now, but it took a very long time for me, even though I intellectually understood it, to make it work. And I now know that's because I had an altar that was really trying to short circuit it. And for me, that breakthrough in going, oh, wow, this is a no-brainer. How was I not able to make this work earlier? Was actually going back to my singing practice, because singing is completely connected with the breath. And that was always my first experience, obviously before being born, after being born, of actually having to learn to attend to and listen to and be attuned to my breath. And once that became much more a part of my world and my focus, meditation became a whole lot easier. But it may be something like sitting and painting, maybe even with your fingers, or drawing, or like one of the reasons in the mental health units, one of the only activities you can often find is colouring in, is because that sense of the pencil on the page gives that somatic processing experience. It's very calming. If you think about it and you sit down with a pencil and you're just colouring, it doesn't have to be slowly, it can be within the lines, but it's the feedback you get from the pen. It's why they've made that tablet called Remarkable, because the pen gives the feedback. It feels like you're writing on paper. It's not just an iPad. There is something about being able to somehow connect with our body. Maybe I would recommend, if your moment of peace requires movement, you go for a walk. Find a beautiful setting like this. Do something that takes your body away from this churning mind and starts to re-establish your sense of physicality in yourself, and whatever that may be. I hope you find joy in it. That's me for today. Catch you on the flip side.